A lion kills a hyena, stands over the body, and may just walk away without eating it. Coyotes have been documented killing gray foxes and bobcats. Other carnivores do the same thing. Sometimes the carcass is barely touched. Your first reaction makes sense. That looks wasteful. The body is fresh. The calories are right there. And the killer has already taken on the risk of claws, teeth, and injury. So why walk away? Because killing another carnivore may have solved a completely different problem than hunger. But that only makes the puzzle more interesting. If the rival is already dead and the meat is basically free, why doesn't the body automatically become prey?
That last question is where the easy explanation starts to fall apart. Palomares and Caro reviewed predator-on-predator killings across mammalian carnivores and found 97 different species pairings. In some species, these killings accounted for a striking share of known deaths, up to 68%. Sometimes both species killed each other. Sometimes the relationship was brutally one-sided. The important part is simpler than the terminology. Another carnivore can be edible and still matter more as competition. Humans tend to draw food chains as if everything points towards a meal. Predator sees animal, predator gets hungry, predator kills animal, predator eats animal. But real carnivore communities have arrows going sideways too. Animals compete over prey, space, safe hunting areas, and access to the same landscape. Killing and feeding are not always the same thing. Now remove the fight completely. Two predators hunt the same patch of land. Both depend heavily on rabbits and rodents. They may go days without seeing each other, but every rabbit one catches is a rabbit the other cannot catch. Ecologists call that exploitation competition. In plain English, a rival can take your food without ever coming near you. And once you see that, the body in the opening starts to look different. The rival is not just a possible meal. While alive, it's another mouth coming back to the same pantry tomorrow and the day after that. Fedriani and colleagues saw this kind of overlap while studying coyotes, gray foxes, and bobcats in California's Santa Monica Mountains. All three relied heavily on small mammals, but coyotes were the dominant carnivore. Of 12 recorded gray fox deaths, 7 were caused by coyotes. Coyotes also caused 2 of 5 recorded bobcat deaths, while no coyotes in the study died from interactions with either species. The pattern showed up in space as well. Gray foxes were less abundant where coyotes were more abundant, and the researchers suggested that foxes were avoiding places where the risk from coyotes was higher. So, the stronger predator could affect the weaker one before a chase even began, simply by making part of the landscape more dangerous to use. That's a bigger effect than one meal. A rival can change where you hunt, when you move, how often you reach prey first, and how much danger comes with using a good patch of land. The rival itself becomes part of the survival problem. Think of one empty chair and 2 people who both need that exact seat. Neither person wants the other person's body. Neither even needs to hate the other person. They just want the same chair. That's the geometry we missed. 2 hunters, 1 limited resource. Sometimes the payoff is not the body. It's having 1 less hunter around. The rival can cost more food alive than its body provides dead. But there's no clean rule saying that killing competitors is always worth it. A fight burns energy. A damaged paw, broken tooth, or serious wound can ruin future hunts. Smaller carnivores may avoid stronger ones instead of confronting them, and predators do sometimes eat the carnivores they kill. So this isn't some cold little calculation happening consciously inside a lion's head. It's a trade-off shaped by repeated survival consequences. And now we arrived back to the annoying question. Competition can explain why the rival was dangerous while alive. It still doesn't explain why the winner leaves edible meat on the ground. Picture 2 carcasses. One is an ordinary prey animal, the other is another carnivore. Both contain protein, both contain fat, both contain calories. To us, that can make them look like the same opportunity. But a 2017 study led by Moleón tested exactly that assumption. In field experiments, scavengers detected herbivore and carnivore carcasses at roughly similar rates, yet more species fed at the herbivore carrion, and a much larger share of the herbivore carrion was consumed. That's interesting because the carnivore carcasses were not invisible. Animals found them, they just didn't treat them the same way. The researchers explored parasite transmission as one evolutionary pressure behind that avoidance. Their simulations showed that sufficiently costly parasite risk can favor low levels of carnivore-on-carnivore scavenging. But even the study doesn't justify the simple claim that predators avoid predator meat because it's full of parasites. Nature rarely gives us an answer that tidy. Palomares and Caro found that consumption of killed carnivores varies, and it appears to be more common when food is scarce or being contested. So predator meat is not forbidden. Sometimes it becomes food, sometimes it doesn't. The better distinction is this: being meat doesn't automatically make an animal good prey. Food value depends on context. How hungry is the animal? What other food is available? What risk comes with feeding here? What kind of carcass is it? What did the interaction accomplish before feeding became an option? That last question matters most. A prey animal is valuable mainly because of what its body can provide. A rival may be valuable simply because it's no longer competing. Now return to the chair. Two people wanted one seat. Once one person leaves, the winner doesn't suddenly want to eat the loser. That sounds absurd because humans separate competitor from resource without even thinking about it. And that's exactly the distinction we failed to give the predators. If that changed how you read the opening scene, leave one word: rival or prey. Because the lion standing over the hyena now looks different. The body is still edible, the calories are still real, but maybe we were staring at the wrong reward. The kill may have changed tomorrow's competition before it created tonight's meal. Killing is not feeding. A rival is not the resource being fought over, and meat is not automatically prey. That's why the behavior looked wasteful at first. We were judging it by the immediate reward while ignoring the future problem that may have disappeared. If this is the kind of animal question you like, where understanding the animal ends up revealing something about the human watching it, subscribe to Wildly Human. Then keep one question from this video. The next time nature appears to waste something, don't only ask, what did the animal gain? Ask, what problem is no longer there?